A very good morning to all the students. As you have already learned the part 1 of our chapter 3 from geography, mineral and power resources, today we will learn the part 2 of the same chapter, which includes distribution of minerals in India, uses of minerals, conservation of minerals, power resources, conventional sources of energy. Moving on to the next slide. Here you can see a map of India, which is showing the distribution of all the different types of mineral deposits in various different states of India. Children, you too have to do a similar activity. You have to grab a political map if you have one, and if you don't have one political map, you just have to take your atlas book and spot down all the states and mark all the different types of minerals which are present in them by giving all the different types of minerals a special symbol, just like this. Now let us discuss about the distribution of all the minerals in India. Iron. India has deposits of high-grade iron ore. The mineral is found mainly in Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Bauxite. Major bauxite producing areas are Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Mica. Mica deposits mainly occur in Jharkhand, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan. India is the largest producer and exporter of mica in the world. This line has to be noted. It is very important. Copper. It is mainly produced in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Manganese. India's manganese deposits lie in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Limestone. Major limestone producing states in India are Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Gold. Kolar in Karnataka has deposits of gold in India. These mines are among the deepest in the world, which makes mining of this ore a very expensive process. Salt. It is obtained from seas, lakes and rocks. India is one of the world's leading producers and exporters of salt. Now children, you all must have seen various salt pan deposits around different types of lakes or around sea whenever you travel through railways or even roadways. Those are salt extraction, salt deposits which are made by different workers in those lakes and seas, working to extract salt from those lakes and seas. Children, you also have to do a similar activity. You have to take an India political map if you have one, and you have to mark on that map. You have to mark all the different types of minerals found in all the various states of the country. You have to give all the minerals some type of symbol. For example, if it is limestone, you can give it a star. If it is gold, you can give it an asterisk. For salt, you can give it a symbol like this. Then you can take this kind of symbol for some other type of mineral, a complete full circle for another type of mineral. For copper, you may take. Okay, and now copper, wherever copper is found in whatever states, in those states you will mark this symbol. Okay, like this. So this is an activity which you are supposed to do if you have a outline map of India. If you do not have an outline map of India, kindly study the same from your atlas book. Now moving on, uses of minerals. What are the uses of minerals? Can you see the images here? Can you name what is this? This is the semiconductor device. What type of mineral is used in a semiconductor device? Silicon is the mineral which is used in a semiconductor device. Copper pipes are again used in construction of pipes. Metals which are extracted from minerals are used in the construction of coins, and gemstones which are obtained from hard minerals. The minerals which are hard are used in jewelry. So now you know what are all the different types of uses of minerals. Minerals are used in many industries. Minerals which are used for gems are usually hard. These are then set in various styles for jewelry. Copper is another metal used in everything from coins to pipes. Silicon used in computer industry in the making of semiconductor devices is obtained from quartz. The mineral from which silicon is obtained is known as quartz. Aluminium obtained from its ore, bauxite, is used in automobiles, airplanes, bottling industry, buildings, and even in kitchen cookware. Now children, do not get confused with bauxite and aluminium. Bauxite is nothing but the ore of aluminium. So, from a rock containing bauxite, what we are going to extract is the aluminium metal. So now, minerals are a non-renewable resource. It takes thousands of years for the formation and concentration of minerals. The rate of formation is much smaller than the rate at which the humans consume these minerals. It is necessary, therefore, to reduce the wastage in the process of mining and protect and conserve our minerals. Recycling of metals is another way in which the mineral resources can be reserved. So children, it is very important to conserve minerals because once the stock of minerals get exhausted, we are never going to get it back in our own lifespan. Because it takes thousands and thousands of years for regeneration and reformation, reconcentration of minerals. And the rate of formation of these minerals is very much smaller than the rate at which the humans consume these minerals. Here you can see what can we do to conserve our minerals? Reuse, reduce and recycle. Now, power resources. What do you understand by power resources? Children, this is the page of your textbook. Here you can see how salt is being extracted and deposited in different types of pits. This is a picture of extraction of salt from Sambhar Lake in Rajasthan. Now children, there is a story in your textbook which says that Sunny's mother begins her day by switching on the geyser. She irons Sunny's school uniform before waking him up. She then rushes to the kitchen to prepare a glass of orange juice for him in the blender. Sunny, have you finished taking the bath? Come on, have your breakfast, calls out the mother while preparing breakfast on the gas stove for Sunny. While going to school, Sunny forgets to switch off the lights and fans just like you all do. When mother switches them off, she thinks that life in the cities may be more comfortable, but its dependency on more and more gadgets, all of which consume energy, has led to a wide gap between the demand and the supply. With the advent of science and technology, the lifestyles are changing very fast. So, isn't Sunny's mother thinking right? Yes, power or energy plays a vital role in our lives. We also need power for industry, agriculture, transport, communication, and defense. Power resources may be broadly categorized as conventional and non conventional resources. Now, children, let us see some of the advantages and disadvantages of some important conventional energy resources. So, conventional sources of energy. First of all, what is a conventional source of energy? Conventional sources of energy are those which have been in common use for a long time. Firewood and fossil fuels are the two main energy sources. We'll discuss about it later on. First of all, we'll learn about the advantages and disadvantages of the conventional sources of energy. Now, as you can see over here, first of all, we'll discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of oil. Advantages: it is easier to transport through tankers and containers, and it forms the basis of petrochemical industry. Disadvantages: depletion of oxygen due to oil spillage in oceans, seas, and rivers during transportation of oil, and gas leakage can cause depletion of oxygen for all the aquatic animals and the vegetation life that lies below the spilled water. So oil spillage is a major disadvantage of using oil. Pollutants which are released by burning of oil can cause acid rain as well as greenhouse effect. Exploration of new fuel is not easy. What do you mean by exploration? Exploration is nothing but digging out of new sites for fetching new sources of oil, for fetching oil. So exploration of a new site for obtaining oil, fuel, is not easy. It is very difficult. And along with that, the equipment which is used is very costly and the machinery used is also very heavy. Natural gas. Now natural gas, the one which we get as LPG in our homes, is a type of natural gas. So it is easier to transport through pipelines. It is cleaner than oil and coal. Cleaner means on the combustion of LPG, it does not produce harmful and toxic gases for the environment. It is also cheaper than oil. Now, firewood. What are the advantages of firewood? Firewood provides and is easily accessible. All the majority of the Indians who are living in villages are dependent on firewood as their only source of energy. It provides energy to a large number of people. Disadvantages: collection time is more. It is time consuming because cutting up of trees take a large amount of time and labor. Polluting: burning of firewood can release toxic gases like CO2, CO, SO2, NO2, N2O, and other oxides of nitrogen, which promote greenhouse effect. It also causes cutting of trees, means deforestation. Coal. Coal is extensively available in almost all the parts of the world. It allows efficient conversion of electricity. Disadvantages: it is a major polluting source and it is bulky to transport. Hydropower. Hydropower is a non-polluting source of energy. It promotes irrigation and fishing. The water which is used in converting the hydropower energy into electricity is used in irrigation and fishing later on, and it is cheap. Disadvantages: it causes displacement of local community because when we construct a dam, we have to displace a large amount of people who have settled around the particular river or around the dam. It inundates low-lying areas That means that it causes floods in low-lying areas. It is expensive to set up, of course, and along with that, it is also time-consuming. So these were some of the major advantages and disadvantages of conventional sources of energy. Now we'll learn about the different types of conventional sources of energy. Conventional sources of energy are those which have been in common use for a long time. Firewood and fossil fuels are the two main conventional sources of energy. Firewood, as you can see here in the figure, it is widely used for cooking and heating in our country. More than 50% of the energy used by the villagers comes from firewood. Children, this firewood is nothing but the chopped wood of all the dry trees which have almost dried or which are about to die. Some are even wood of healthy trees. Okay, so it is not good to us in any way because it causes deforestation, which is a big imbalance in the ecosystem. Fossil fuels. Have you heard the word fossil fuels before? Yes, of course. Remains of plants and animals which were buried under the earth for millions of years got converted by the heat and pressure into fossil fuels. So what are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are nothing but the remains and the debris of plants and animals which were buried under the surface of earth for millions of years, and the layer of earth got depositing on them layer by layer, year by year, and because of the heat and pressure generated, they got converted into fossil fuels, which we now recognize as coal, petroleum, natural gas. So the reserves of these minerals are limited. The rate at which the growing world population is consuming these fossil fuels is far greater than the rate of their formation. So these are likely to be exhausted soon. Coal. Coal is the most abundantly found fossil fuel all over the world. It is used as a domestic fuel in industries such as iron and steel, steam engines, and to generate electricity. Electricity from coal is known as thermal power, and a plant which produces electricity by using coal as a fuel is known as a thermal power plant. The coal which we are using today was formed millions of years ago when giant ferns and swamps children are a type of vegetation, wild vegetation. Okay, swamps are generally grown in muddy areas. You all must have seen. So the coal which we are using today was formed millions of years ago when giant ferns and swamps got buried under the layers of earth. So because of all these reasons, coal is referred to as buried sunshine. I have asked question based upon this, so please pay attention when I am explaining. The leading coal producers of the world are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa, and France. The coal producing areas of India are Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad, and Bokaro in Jharkhand. So mostly coal is mostly found in Dhanbad. There is a big coal mine which is situated in Dhanbad. You might also have heard of the IIT which is set up there, Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad, in which chemical engineering and petroleum engineering are some of the courses. Mining engineering are some of the courses which are being conducted by the IITs. It is one of the top premier colleges in the world as well as in our country. Now this is coal, as you can see here, and this is the image of a thermal power plant. Now coming to petroleum. The petrol that keeps your car running, as well as the oil that keeps your cycle from squeaking, both began as thick black liquid which was known as petroleum. Now, children, it is found between layers of rocks and is drilled from oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. What do you mean by offshore? Offshore means areas which are in between the sea surface, which are away from the shore, which are away from the shore or which are away from the coast. This is then sent to, now this oil known as crude oil, this is then sent to refineries which process the crude oil at different temperatures and produce a variety of products like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics and lubricants. Petroleum and its derivatives are called black gold as they are very valuable, and all its derivatives along with petroleum have a high commercial value in the market. The chief petroleum producing countries are Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. These are also known as the Gulf countries. The other major producers of petroleum are USA, Russia, Venezuela and Algeria. The leading producers in India are Digboi in Assam, Bombay High in Mumbai and the deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. Now children, the word origin of petroleum, the word petroleum is derived from Latin words petra and which means rock and oleum means oil. So petroleum means rock of oil or the rock which gives oil. Okay, rock oil or the oil from the rock which gives oil. Now here you can see various petroleum and the derivative. Here on the top right is kerosene. You all must have seen this petroleum. Everybody has seen that wherever you go to a petrol pump, petrol station. This is crude oil and this is wax which is used as a lubricant in various machine parts of automobiles and also machineries and other equipments. Now coming to another conventional resource which is natural gas. Natural gas is found with petroleum deposits and is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. Okay. It can be used as a domestic and industrial fuel. Russia, Norway, UK and Netherlands are the major producers of natural gas. In India, Jaisalmer, Krishna Godavari Delta, Tripura and some areas offshore in Mumbai have natural gas resources. Very few countries in the world have sufficient natural gas reserves of their own. The sharp increase in our consumption of fossil fuels has led to their depletion at an alarming rate. The toxic pollutants released from burning these fuels are also a cause for concern. Unchecked burning of fossil fuel is like an unchecked dripping tap which will eventually dry. This has led to the tapping of various non-conventional sources of energy that are cleaner alternatives to fossil fuels. Compressed natural gas is a popular eco-friendly automobile fuel as it causes less pollution than petroleum and diesel. Along with that, LPG, which is a substitute for firewood, is also a cleaner fuel than firewood itself. It is also a natural gas. Here you can see this is a gas stove burning with LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Now we'll learn about hydropower, the most important type of conventional source of energy. Rainwater or river water stored in dams is made to fall from heights The falling water flows through pipes inside the dam over the turbine blades placed at the bottom of the dam. The moving blades then turn the generator to produce electricity. Now, this electricity is known as hydroelectricity. The water discharged after the generation of electricity is used for irrigation. 1/4 of the world's electricity is produced by hydropower. The leading producers of hydropower in the world are Paraguay, Norway, Brazil, and China. Some important hydropower stations in India are the Bhakra Nangal project, the Gandhi Sagar project, the Nagarjun Sagar project, and Damodar Valley projects. Now, children, it is your homework to find out what are the states in which these hydropower projects are present, and you have to write it down in your notebook as an activity. Now, there is a fact check. Norway was the first country in the world to develop hydroelectricity. Here is a typical layout of a hydropower plant. Children, see, this is a dam which creates a reservoir for storage of water across a river, across a large river. It gives the height of storage for the water. Then what happens? There are pipes which are known as penstocks. These pipes take the water from inside of the dam at high velocity towards the turbine, which rotates the turbine blades. The kinetic energy of the water is converted into mechanical energy now. Now this mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy by the use of a generator which is attached to the turbine. So this is how electricity is produced. And supplied to various power grid stations, various industries, companies, factories, and our houses. See, this is a reservoir. This is a dam which is known as the Salal Dam, Salal Hydroelectric Power Project, which is located in Jammu and Kashmir. Here you can see, children, this is the water reservoir which we were talking about, which gives the height of storage for water. This is the dam structure. Water will be made to fall from a height to run the blades of the turbine, and the generator will convert this mechanical energy of the turbine blades into electrical energy. Okay. It is also given and mentioned in your textbook. This is again a dam which is situated in a foreign country, not in India, with the same hydropower project plant. Thank you so much, children, and try to solve the worksheet which is attached with the video file. Thank you so much.